So 3, 2, 1, we're there. Okay, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to say, hello, everybody. Instead of, hi, guys. Okay, so tonight I had a really nice conversation with a friend of mine, and we talked about family, and the biggest thing that I think is a part of this is, believe it or not, let me do the math here. 6 years ago, I lived in a barn with no running water. I'm not sure if I actually explained this at one point, but I'm going to say it in this video because it means a lot to me, because it's going to bring me to the next step of what I want to speak about. The reason I was there was because although my sister had given me a place to live, I'm an incredibly independent person. I don't like having to share space with people, and I've been alone for a long time. So basically what happened was I lost my business, and that was very difficult for me. So I did go through a period of, like, you know, we call it depression, or we call it whatever. And then I thought, okay, so while I was with my sister, I did get a job, and I felt wonderful. But the job, I'm serious. You cannot ask somebody to do 10 websites with the amount of content that they needed to get done in 2 weeks. So I ended up with a severe issue of, like, overwork. So I just didn't show up one day. And then I went to my doctor and I said, this is crazy. And he said, you're going through severe anxiety. Well, I would think so, right? I just lost my business, and then I'm in this job that's like, there was a lot that I needed to get done. I just couldn't do it. Not one person. You can do it if you've got a team, but not one person. And they watched everything you did. So anyway, from there, I ended up on Ontario Works, and thanks to my dad, who said, you know, you can't not get any funding. You've got to start moving forward, and they apparently they give you, you know, extra stuff. Right. So my friend and I were talking about what they actually do to supply you with, you know, the steps to move back into the workforce, because that was what the whole thing was about, right? Yeah, you get $550. I think it's up now, but back then it was $550 a month for food and for shelter. So I ended up in a barn for 3 years with no running water. I was paying my $500 rent, and I did change my life. I did, definitely, in the sense that after, like, I was actually, in all fairness, I was not working, because I was helping my best friend. He had an auto repair shop, so I would help him doing his marketing. He was the one who put me up in the barn, and I helped him do his accounting, and so I was still mentally working, which was really important, because you have to keep doing that. But then I guess my parents got tired and fed up of it, so this is where we're going to move to this. When I lost everything, and I'm living in that barn with no running water, I thought, number one, thank you, Mom and Dad, for teaching me how to camp. And this is like camping, what do they call it? Glamping? No, because I had electricity. Not a lot of heat, but I had a heater. I had a roof over my head, and I kept thinking to myself, wow. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there going from having an auto repair shop, 2 acres of land, beautiful dogs, hobby farm, everything, to nothing. I realized I had everything I ever needed in my life. And that's my family. And those are my friends who supported me through it, who didn't mind coming to see me at my lowest point. But my lowest point was my best point, because I sat there and thought, you know what? I can get out of this. And I did. And as you saw, I do have a beautiful place now. I do rent, but it's right on a lake. I have rebuilt everything here. I've got my furniture. I've got everything. But okay, that stuff, the roof over the head, even in a barn, meant the world to me. I had electricity. So many places don't. And I remember living in Turkey when I was a kid, and we had this lady who used to clean our house, and we used to pay her like next to nothing. And I would go down and visit her, and the family was sleeping all in one room, and then they had a little tiny kitchen, and then they had the outhouse. But they had a roof over their head. They didn't have running water. So all of this, of my life experiences when I was younger, like from the camping to living in Turkey and, actually witnessing people who live with next to nothing, I thought I could do this. But I didn't want to stay there. So this is where it's really nice to have felt the minimalism of your life, the least that you have, and realize, in essence, there's only two things that are really painful losing: people and pets. That's it. Literally. Stuff you lose, you can regain. There are things that you do lose that are hard, like pictures of the past and so on and so forth, but thank goodness for social media and, Google and all that. You can actually upload them now. Yes, I understand that. In a fire, when you lose something, that's painful. But really, the biggest things in life: people and pets. So my life story, having said all that, is having lost, learnt, regained. I still want to make it. I still want to make money. That is not a lie. But I learned that in my lowest point, the most important thing: people, pets, and support. And your friends, honest goodness, the friends, the support that they give you. You remember the ones that were there for you. Anyway, that's my message for tonight. And thank you, Amy, for watching. And bring them on camera. See you later. Bye.